Hey everyone, how you doing? And in today's video, we're going to take a look and see how well the 4070 Ti handles The Witcher 3 in 4K. This is the next gen update, as well as there was just a new update 2 days ago that added, I can't remember if it added or updated it. It's ray trace global illumination, so we'll see how well ray tracing is handled on the 4070 Ti with and without DLSS. Now, I actually tried doing this test a week ago before this update came out, and I was having horrible performance. Everything was stuttery. There was something wrong. I don't know if it was a driver issue with the 4070 or if it was the game itself. Not very sure. And nothing really helped except capping the frame rate, and that seemed to do the trick. But then again, it was also going to distort the performance, so I didn't bother following through with the test. I have been playing it a little bit just to test out, make sure it does work. And with that update, so I'm assuming it might have been compatibility with the game versus the 4070 Ti. Anyway, it works better now. There are still some issues where changing settings, but like even if you went into the setting menu, it would cause some stuttering, frame rates would drop. Then changing the settings and going back into the game, it would cause for a short period of time for the frame rates to stay low. There'd be a lot of stuttering, but eventually it would kind of go back up to normal. But there's also other instances where it would not, at least for the amount of time I've tried and waited, it just got too long, that it would stay stuttery with like 10 to 15 FPS. So something was wrong. So I'd have to restart the game, and then before going in the game, pick which settings I'd want and get in there. And it would be back to normal. So that might be something that you're encountering. I don't know if it's just with the 40 series or the 4070 Ti where this issue is. I couldn't find anything really talking about it, but I just know from my experience, this is still a little buggy with the 4070 Ti. Anyway, let's get into the game and look at what kind of performances you can expect. And starting off, we're only gonna do 4K in this video, and we're gonna start native. So we're gonna keep ray tracing off, and we'll keep DLSS off with everything else on ultra except for NVIDIA Hairworks. When we turn ray tracing on, we'll turn NVIDIA Hairworks on as well with it, but everything is on Ultra Plus, max settings. So let's jump in and see how it goes. All right, let's restart. So right here, 4K, ultra settings, no DLSS or ray tracing on, we are sitting at 60-ish FPS. Let's just take a run around.
Wife won't believe me when I tell her.
Go do a mission, see what happens, see what kind of FPS we're going to get while we're doing this. We're still maintaining that plus 60 FPS average, but the 1% or 0.1% lows are kind of dropping. There's every once in a while you can see a little bit of a spike frame time graph. So we're sitting at 13. Well, the 4070 Ti does handle this game at native resolution pretty well. Again, ray tracing is not turned on, so I expect when we do turn that on here in a minute, we're going to see quite the impact to performance. That's just an assumption at the moment. But yeah, as it is right now, we're averaging 65 FPS. The 1% low is 51 with a 0.1% low of 33, but don't let that 33 deceive you. There's been quite a few jumps in the frame time graph. It got a little stuttery, but overall pretty good. So let's go and turn on ray tracing. You see here, FPS drops quite a bit. Just gets a little stuttery when it's in this setting screen. Where yeah, turn and works on. Actually, yeah, let's see. If it gets too bad, maybe we'll turn NVIDIA Hairworks off, but I doubt it's going to impact it too much. Could be wrong. All right, let's give it a moment. Again. Okay, so yeah, this is not very playable. I don't think we'll be spending much time with ray tracing on. I don't think the NVIDIA Hairworks will make much of a difference. Yeah, this is a little jittery. The 1% and 0.1% lows are pretty low. Not very smooth. Yeah, not good. Let's go and just for the heck of it, turn NVIDIA Hairworks. As you know, Geralt has a lot of hair. Maybe that's the issue, but I did it. Off. Takes a moment for it to back up. And you know what? It's actually worse off. This is what I'm talking about. When you go in the settings, go in it, go out, it really screws up the game. The performance goes bad. So I think we're going to save it right here and just go out and come back in, and that makes a difference. All right, let's go turn Hairworks back on. Yeah, we're starting it. Made a little bit of a difference, but not very much. Let's have a little run around here and see what happens. And I'm not sure if this is monitor or graphics card, but there's a lot of flickering going on. Like just looking at the bush right here in the front, it doesn't look not very smooth. Like it doesn't look like ray tracing working very well. So let's just go and play this for a little bit. Yeah, after doing the restart, like 37 isn't too bad on here, but how far do I have to go? See, just even going into the menu and coming back out, this is rotten. See, it takes a few seconds for it to just even itself out, and I don't know what's going on. Like I said, I haven't really seen anything online talking about it. Even that's not looking too good. So here, so the performance is, well, it actually dropped. It went from 35-ish down to 30. And it seems to be anytime it goes into the options menu, comes back out, there's a hit to performance for some unknown reason. One thing I'm noticing is memory is really being eaten up. We're at 11.5 gigs, so I don't know if it's clearing the memory well or what's going on. But because this game should not be taking close to 12 gigs of memory. Even system RAM is almost 16 gigs. So I'm not sure if something's going on here or not, but I feel like there's still some kind of optimization either with the game or with the drivers on the 4070 to smooth things out. But anyway, this is what we're getting so far with native, and I bet once I escape, so yeah, take notice here. Well, at least for me anyways, everything's kind of flickering a bit. So if I go and turn ray tracing off, does that get rid of it? Go back down here, turn that off. Let's see. No, it's not ray tracing. Something is causing everything to flicker. Again, I don't know if it's the game or if it's my monitor. I don't think it's the monitor because it's not flickering everywhere. It's just really noticeable in the grass and stuff that's near. So yeah, I think it has something to do with the game. The FPS has jumped up to 40, but again, we're still having a performance hit. So unfortunately, I am going to have to restart this game again, and we'll go into native with DLSS. And then I'll probably have to leave again and go back into native. No, sorry, not native. DLSS without ray tracing. and then we'll go into DLSS with ray tracing. Anyway, once I restart. All right, so before we get into the game, I make sure ray tracing's off, NVIDIA Hairworks is off, and then we're DLSS on, and what happens? So we're gonna leave it on quality, either auto or quality. So I want the best quality, so I'd rather have it on this than move it down to auto or any of the lower quality settings. Yeah, so it doesn't seem like we're picking up very much FPS by going with DLSS quality for some reason. I was expecting a little higher frame rate, but we're not really getting it. So different parts like being in a building, being outside, and things like that have a big major difference. Like you can see it's averaging 66, and this little part we're at 82, running through the forest we're at 70s. It's very odd. Yeah, even after restarting, we went down to 10.3 gigs of VRAM being used versus the 11.4. So in my mind, that's just kind of odd that it's doing that. You'd think it would still be fairly consistent between the two, but actually, well, maybe once we put ray tracing on, it might go back up. So right now we're sitting at 79 in this part. So let's see what happens with tracing. Ray tracing on. I think I might leave the Hairworks off. Just this performance. And we're at Ultra. Okay. Now let's see what happens. Gotta wait a second for everything to kind of stabilize. And yeah, that's quite the hit. So yeah, so now we're up to 11.7. So yeah, turning ray tracing on uses up a considerable amount of VRAM. And the sad thing is, and I don't know if it's just because of optimization of this game that it's using up so much VRAM, but this is a modern card. It's only got 12 gigabytes of VRAM, and it's being entirely used up by a game that came out back in what? I'm not exactly sure. I think it was like 2015. Like, it's an old game. It's been around for a while. Might not be that old. Yeah, no. It came back out in May of 2015. So it is an old game. It should not be using this much memory to generate graphics. I don't know what the next gen update entailed, but I don't think it's very well optimized because it's using a lot of VRAM and it's using a lot of system RAM too. We're over 16 gigs. And just see how well the performance is. Did level out there a bit, so it's dipping down to 43. So yeah, it's the oh, this is getting brutal. Okay, no, I'm gonna start it, and just see if starting off from scratch in a brand new game with DLSS and ray tracing on makes a difference, because this is horrible. This is like similar performance as when it was native. Let's game and yeah, so this just kind of highlights the weirdness that's going on with, again, I think it's the GPU interacting with this game. We were in the 40s and then down to the 30s, and now restarting everything, we're back at 56 FPS. So run around, see if we experience the same kind of issue that we saw before. Now that we restarted, yeah, it doesn't have the jittering that I was seeing before. So again, don't know what was causing that, but I'm not seeing a flickering on any of the grass or trees or anything like that. The FPS is staying fairly consistent. No, it's kind of a bit, but as we're running through here, look at the VRAM. It's starting to go up more than it was before. It is okay, so it has evened itself out a little bit. No, now we're starting to go into some weirdness, getting a little glitchy. 1% lows down to 7, the 0.1% down to 2. Like, it wasn't bad running this game at native or with DLSS on, but as soon as we included ray tracing in here on either native with ray tracing or DLSS with ray tracing, things have kind of, yeah, shit the bed. I think there's some more work that needs to be done on this game so that it actually is playable, but right now, like playable with ray tracing on, but right now with the 4070 Ti, it's just not worth it. It's too stuttery. Now we're reaching up into 11.9 gig. Like, this is not right. Something is wrong here. So yeah, if anyone else out there is experiencing the same issue I'm experiencing or knows what it is, yeah, leave a comment down below. Let me know what that is. And if you have any other comments or questions, please leave them down below. Thank you, and see you in the next video.